Start with the praise. Vachan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Dasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachanam pangam langyate girem yatkripatamam vande Shri Gurudena karanam paramanandam mandavam. So today we will start with the presentation from the groups on the skits, and after that we'll have an overview of the 4th chapter. And as you will see that the topics in the skits are also relevant to our understanding of the points that Krishna makes in the 3rd and the 4th chapter, to some extent the 5th chapter, but primarily the 3rd and the 4th chapter. So I would request all of you to be mute while the respective groups are presenting their skits. So if I can ask the first group to present their skit. The topic is renunciation.
Hare Krishna. So, Rasamrita Mataji, you are narrator. One, are you on the call?
Hare Krishna. Jagdish was a brahmachari living in the temple. Seeing his personality, his Guru Maharaj advised Jagdish to accept Grahastha order of life.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for coming over. Recently, I have been thinking of entering the Grihastha ashram. I'm not sure if this is what I should do, but I'm feeling that brahmachari life is not for me anymore.
Well, Prabhu, this is a very important decision. Maybe you should speak with Guru Maharaj and ask him for his advice.
Yes. Let me take Guru Maharaj's advice on this matter. He's very familiar with me and my personality and will provide me guidance as I'm confused about what I should do.
Jagdish goes to his Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet.
Ramchandra Prabhu. Is Ramchandra Prabhu on the call?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna Jagdish. Come in. So, what brings you here today?
Well, Guru Maharaj, I have been a brahmachari for about 10 years now. But recently, I've been thinking that I would really like to be married and have a wonderful devotee family.
The Grihastha ashram is very important. We need strong, committed devotee families. Grihastha ashram is the foundation of all the ashramas and essential to the existence and continuation of society because the other 3 ashramas do not produce offspring. But if you are meditating on family life, then it is better to be an honest Grihastha than a bogus brahmachari. If you are focused on having a wife and children, then I feel you should change your ashram.
Jagdish accept Grahastha life and find the dedicated partner Kishori, and they lead Krishna conscious married life.
Kishori, thank you for always taking such lovely care of me in our home and for always encouraging me to give classes at the temple.
I'm happy to be your wife. If we can serve Srila Prabhupada and the devotees with humility and make Krishna the center of our family, our home, then our life will be perfect.
Some time passes by and Jagadish and Kishori welcome two kids. With more responsibilities, Jagadish now starts to question why he accepted Grihastha life, as he is not able to serve more in the temple or do his devotional service to the extent he wants. There seems to always be some argument at home, so much so that he decides to quit his Grihastha life and go to Himalayas and perform some austerities. As he takes the train, he happens to meet a couple of devotees traveling in the same train to go to another city for preaching. Frustrated and lost, Jagadish starts talking with these bhaktas.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
You seem to be a devotee yourself with tilak on your forehead. Very nice, Prabhu. You seem to be disturbed about something. Is there anything that we can be of help to you?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Prabhuji. I'm indeed disturbed as I'm struggling to balance workplace pressure and Grihastha life. I'm not having enough time to practice my sadhana, and that's why I have decided to leave my family and I am planning to go to Rishikesh and focus on my sadhana there without any distractions. I have my Krishna idol with me and would like to serve him as best as I can without having to worry about my family.
You do not look old enough to renounce family life. How old are your children?
12 and 14.
If you don't mind me saying this, this is not the right thing to do, Prabhu. Your children are still young. They need you in their lives. Going to Rishikesh to live as a renunciant is not the right devotional service at this time for you. Your devotional service is to be a responsible grahastha and help your wife and children to come to Krishna's lotus feet in this lifetime.
Furthermore, premature renunciation of prescribed duties will neither lead to freedom from reaction, purification of heart, nor perfection, success, or liberation. Thus, no benefit will be achieved, Prabhu.
You should only accept the renounced order when you are purified by the discharge of your prescribed duties. In your case, that is taking care of your family.
Also, premature renunciation is harmful because soul is very active. It has to be engaged in service of Krishna. Krishna appreciates a sincere, dutiful householder to be better than an attached or mithyacharya sannyasi. A sincere householder can also attain Krishna prema by regulated service in Krishna consciousness.
I feel that you must go back and take care of your family. Without sincerely fulfilling these duties, one should never attempt to be a so-called transcendentalist. It is not good to pretend we have sacrificed everything for the sake of advancement in spiritual life.
Jagdish, your wife and children are devotees. As it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, taking care of them will be done as a sacrifice for satisfaction of Vishnu, and this will liberate you from all bondages. How to practically achieve this would be best discussed with a senior devotee or mentor of yours or your spiritual master.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for opening my eyes. I have now been able to understand that I was wrong in leaving my family. I will follow your advice and consult my mentor and my Guru Maharaj about how I will balance my Grihastha life and my sadhana. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
That is the end of
Hare
our
Krishna.
skit, Prabhu. So actually, we had more people than we could have the characters. So Rama Mataji was also very much involved in all the script. So she decided to kind of take a step back and allow others to participate. So just wanted to recognize that fact about the script.
Thank you. Very well written, and it brings forth all the important points of renunciation uh, in a very organic way. So, I certainly like it very much. Thank you for the effort, and Hare Krishna. Okay, so we have a high bar set. Second skit is on the 4 types of karma.
Hare Krishna. So I will start with introduction. Our group was given topic 4 types of karma. Karma can be characterized from different views. After we read Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 and 4, we realized that 2 things are important when we decide to which category the action belongs: the action itself and the motive of the doer. When Krishna comes to this material world, he himself does not have any selfish motive. Krishna acts selflessly out of love. However, in general, people do not act that selflessly. In our skit, we want to show that the same action performed with different intentions will bear different consequences. We will show 4 types of karma using the example of 4 people who will perform the same action, baking a cake, but they will have different intentions. Therefore, the first baker will be engaged in vikarma, the second baker in sakam karma, the third baker in nishkam karma, and the 4th baker in akarma. They will be judged by Paramatma, who will give them their awards. So without further ado, let us visit this wonderful competition, Govinda's baking show.
Hello, hello, hello. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to the Govinda's Baking Show, the biggest baking show in the world. Our popularity is growing through the roof. Today is another day, and we have lined up an exciting show for you. We have selected 4 extremely skilled bakers out of thousands. They are experts and have satiated many taste palates over the years. We have Bikarmi, Shakam Karmi, Nishkam Karmi, and Akarmi as the participants of this competition. First, I'll call up Bikarmi. Oh, look at the cake. Oh, my Krishna. It doesn't look that palatable, Bikarmi. Having the color of mud with a smell not that too friendly to my nose. What massacre did you do with your cake, Bikarmi? Please tell us.
Ha ha ha. A massacre is precisely what my cake is. You won't know the ingredients or taste from the look, but let me tell you what I used. I got flour from bug-infested wheat from my grandma's time. Then I used some 100-year-old sugar, added a couple of rotten eggs, and voila, you have my cake. I got this wonderful recipe from YouTube, but obviously I didn't put any effort into it because I don't even care about this stupid competition in the first place. Honestly, I just want all of you to try it, and I can't wait to see the look on all your faces. Can we just skip to the rest of the competition? I really want you guys to try my cake first and see what a real massacre it is.
You cannot, but I am unsure even if my cat would like to have a piece of this, whatever cake you have made. But we have no time to ponder over this. Let us move on to the next contestant, Shakam Karmi. Oh yes, your cake is a bit out of shape and it tasted okay to me when I tried. How did you make this cake, Shakam Karmi? Please do tell us.
Oh, I really like the taste of cakes. I can eat them day and night. I used a recipe for this particular cake from the Gandharva's cooking book. I made this cake hoping that people who taste it will glorify me as the best chef ever. And these moments of glory taste even better than cake itself. Maybe one day in newspaper, they will name me as the best chef in the world. Oh, and one more nice thing about baking cakes is that everyone who eats it will be very grateful to me and express their gratitude by giving something else in return.
I'm unsure if any of my friends or guests would like to have a bite of this cake unless they want to get their tongues burned with your pride. Let us move on to our next contestant, Nishkam Karmi. This cake looks nicer and has all the right kind of fragrance too. What did you do to this cake, Nishkam Karmi?
Well, I'm a baker by profession and I have baked a pineapple upside down cake with great flavor, texture, color, following the best ingredients prescribed in Ayurvedic book. I perform my dharma. I don't expect any rewards as such as awards, publicity, or applause. I take baking cakes as my duty and I like the process itself, no matter if it results in good or bad. I try to do my work the best possible way and set an example for my son and other people who work in my bakery. No matter if I take the first place or the last place in the contest, I already feel satisfied as I fulfill my duty and don't expect anything in return.
Wonderful. Let's move to our next contestant, Akarmi. Wow, this cake looks the best from all angles, color, shape, beauty, and has a divine fragrance. What did you do to this cake, Akarmi? Please enlighten us.
Hari bol. I had a dream yesterday night that my deities asked me to have a cake as bhoga. So when I woke up, I decided to offer them the best cake I'm capable of making. I took the recipe from Radharani cooking book. Then I went to the kitchen and played a Kirtan recording. I tried to put all my devotion to please Radharani and Krishna. I used the best ingredients I had. Once ready, I offered the cake to my deities with love. After they tasted it, I brought the cake here to share the prasadam and make deity and the people here happy.
Wonderful. Now it is time for the judge, Paramatma, to evaluate the cakes and award each contestant.
Dear contestants, you all took great efforts in baking these cakes, and I will reward all of you with what you deserve. Bikarmi, since you wanted to make the guests of this competition sick by deliberately giving them a bad tasting cake, I reward you with an invitation to a dinner with such spicy food that your stomach will not tolerate it. Shakam Karmi, since you put so much hope in the results that you are going to achieve by baking this cake, I grant you such award that you will indeed temporarily enjoy the taste of the cake, and some people will indeed praise your skills. However, your satisfaction will not be absolute and long-lasting. Nishkam Karmi, I'm very satisfied by your cake. Both the shape and the content are just perfect. I reward you with respect from people, even though you did not desire it. People will look up to you and try to follow your example. Moreover, with each next cake, your mind, intelligence, and senses will be more and more purified, and you will advance on the path of detachment. Akarmi, your cake looks and tastes the best of all. Moreover, I have to admit that I'm not qualified to judge it. Therefore, now I want to invite a very special guest, a very dear friend of mine, as well as all living beings. His name is Krishna. Please greet him with applause.
Dear Akarmi, your cake is such that I couldn't wait till you finished cooking so that I could try it. I'm so happy you added my favorite ingredients such as love, care, and devotion. I'm also glad to see the tulsi. I'm very pleased with your intentions to fulfill my wish of sharing the joy and prasadam with my other dear devotees. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Very good.
Very good. Very nice. And you presented a difficult topic very expertly. One small correction that I would like to make is that Nishkam Karma and Akarma are synonyms. I think what you wanted to present as the fourth was Karma Yoga. And so you got the four categories right. Vikarma, Sakarma, Nishkam Karma, and Karma Yoga. it's sometimes used interchangeably also. So especially in the current day and age, because the only way to execute a karma is through bhakti. But just from a technical perspective, nishkam and a karma are often are synonymous, and bhakti yoga is when well, the fourth category in yours. So thank you very much. Excellent script and excellent mix of comedy and knowledge weave together. So Bhurijan Prabhu in the Art of Teaching says that you give people something to laugh about, and while their mouth is open, then you put in some knowledge there. So I see that you were able to accomplish both of it very nicely. Okay, moving on to the third skit, which is probably a difficult subject to handle. So I'm very curious to see how did the team handle it. Destiny and Endeavor.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Again, my name is Indu for Group 3. Again, as you called out, our topic is Destiny and Endeavor. So I'll set up the stage with the brief introduction to our story, and then others from the group will enact the story. So I believe most of you must have heard about the famous Titanic ship. So there was a farmer in Scotland who had a very strong desire to board the maiden Titanic. So he worked very hard and used all his savings to buy the tickets for his family. Unfortunately, his son broke his leg, and the doctor said that the son would need to take bed rest for 2 weeks and they cannot travel. So the farmer had to cancel their trip. A week later, the farmer read in the newspapers the Titanic slammed into an iceberg and sank, leaving more than 1,500 people dead. So let me now introduce you to each character and their roles. So Chaitanya Rasadas Prabhu will play the farmer role. Ranga Devi Dasi will play his wife, and again in the real also she is his wife. The first kid we have named as Karma. Shobhamai Mataji will play that. Kid 2 is Akarma. Vrajanabha Dasa Prabhu will play that. Kid 3 is Vikarma. Lahari Mataji will play that role. And the friend is Abhijit Prabhu. And throughout the skit, the narration will be done by Lahari Mataji.
So the scene 1 starts like this. So I'm the farmer. Hey, I have a great opportunity for our family to have a fun. I'm going to buy the tickets for the Titanic ship, and it's for the maiden voyage, and lots of celebrities are going to be there. I'm so excited. It's an exciting news, isn't it?
Hari Bol, yeah, it seems to be a great idea. But I'm just wondering, we are all satisfied and very content and very happy here. Why do we really want to overthink, right? It's overthinking your endeavors in this life. I would suggest that we maintain our focus upon our duties without much expectations, because we are quite contented here, isn't it?
I know what is best for us. I know what I'm pursuing. Don't tell me what to do. I'll see. You will see how wonderful the trip is going to be for the whole family. Indu Mataji or Hari Mataji.
And in this next scene, we did want to bring about verse 327. The person in false ego takes all credit for doing everything independently, and that is the symptom of his nescience. He does not know that this gross and subtle body is the creation of material nature under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as his bodily and mental activities should be engaged in the service of Krishna in Krishna consciousness. In our next scene, we introduce the farmer's children, named Karma, Akarma, and Vikarma. Vikarma means actions that are performed against one's prescribed duties, activities that are considered forbidden or sinful. Due to Vikarma's illicit endeavors, they met with an accident, resulting in a broken leg while traveling. This indicates even someone born in a Krishna-conscious family without desire to strive for devotional love for Krishna will be destined to face the consequences of their endeavors.
Shobhamai Mataji. Do we have Shobhamai Mataji? Probably she didn't join. Anantacharya Prabhu, are you able to just read through from the script?
We don't have the script on screen, Prabhu.
Not in the screen, it's in the WhatsApps. It's shared.
All right.
Sorry for the last minute change.
No problem. Give me a second.
In the chat, I sent you the Google Doc link.
Perfect. That'll be helpful.
It's under scene 2, Prabhu.
Okay. Scene 2, it's from. So whose part, Prabhu?
Karma. You have to play the part of Karma.
Hey bro, to Vikarma. Sorry to hear you broke your leg. Hope you're doing okay. Just don't be upset about the accident. You will recover soon. Just do your prescribed duties.
Karma. According to the law of karma, a person who does good deeds will receive good things later by way of compensation. On the other hand, if subjects' actions are bad, they will receive bad things. Do your duties without expectations and try to please Krishna.
I don't care what any of you say. I'm fine, and I will do whatever I want once I get better.
So it's next scene is scene 3, where the farmer is upset and that he cannot go. I'm so sad. I worked so hard for this trip. And Vikarma, you did everything. We lost the ability to be on the travel on this famous ship with famous celebrities. It's all due to you.
Haribol, don't be very upset. It's destined that we miss this, so let's accept our fate without question, because Krishna knows what is best for us. Looks like Krishna did not want us to go on this trip. We should remain non-expectational and just believe on what Krishna's instructions to us are. Please don't be upset. Let's accept what the reality is.
Mom's right. It's not the end of the world, Dad. You need to chill out.
What do we do with the tickets? I spent quite a lot of money.
I understand, Haribol. Maybe we can give it to someone who would like to go. In that way, at least they can get benefited out of it. But I do understand your feelings.
Scene 4, selling of the tickets to a friend.
Hey, buddy. I heard Vikarna's met with an accident. Is he doing okay now? I'm sorry for your loss. Are you still planning to go on the Titanic trip?
Hey, thanks for asking. No, we are planning to sell the tickets. Do you know anyone who would still buy them?
No one will take it with this cost. Maybe if you give some discount, maybe someone can buy.
I'd be willing to sell them on discounted price. I don't have much choices. I'm okay. I'm trying to just make up my losses.
Oh, that's a great deal. I'm thinking to buy the ticket. My kids will love it.
Good. Here you go.
Okay, thank you, man.
Scene 4 narration.
So we all know the destiny of the Titanic. Our final scene is the discussion between the family as they realize their misfortune was actually a great mercy of the Lord, as well as a wonderful lesson.
Haribol, you see, it's the destiny. I was talking about that culminated in our safety by not being in that ship. So in fact, we should be grateful for what is happening, accept what is happening as it is, rather than really going by our emotions and just by our our own decisions. We should definitely accept what Krishna is conveying to us.
You're right. It's destiny. I'm thankful now that we didn't board the ship. All our lives were have been saved. I should have listened to you in the first place. You are wise, and I involved my emotions unnecessarily without the true knowledge. Thank you.
I just want you all to know that you're only alive because of me.
Indu Mataji, closing comments?
Yeah, so here we saw an amazing story of a lucky farmer who changed his plans to sail on the Titanic, and thanks to his injured kid. So it just affirms that man proposes, God disposes. Everyone is at the liberty to desire as he likes, but the desire is fulfilled by the Supreme Lord. So everyone feels that they can think independently or desire, but again, the desire completely depends on the supreme will. Therefore, a devotee never considers himself, I am independent. He simply depends on the supreme will of the Lord. That is devotion. Hare Krishna.
Special thanks to Anantacharya Prabhu, though he was not part of it, he was able to pull this up.
Yes,
Thank you, Prabhu.
thank you.
Thank
Good
you,
fill
Prabhu,
in.
for the last save.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Is that a true story that you're basing the skit on?
A little bit is true, Prabhu, and the rest of it is a little bit made up, like the kids and all. We made up.
Yeah, that would be good. Very good. Very good. Very nice using of an incident to demonstrate. And actually, this is a very nice technique to base on real life incidents, because people relate to it, and of course, there's some amount of latitude that needs to be taken. But I like the way that you structured the play and set forth the message. And like I said, that this is one of the perennial questions that is asked: the interplay between destiny and endeavor. So thank you very much. Well done. Okay, so now, last but not the least, the fourth skit on changing one's karma.
Okay, so we are presenting Changing of Karma. We have two characters. One is Dev, that is being presented by Praveen Prabhu. He is a non-devotee. And the other one is Neha Mataji as Krishna Dasi, who is a Krishna devotee. And I'll be the narrator. So we can start, Praveen Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. I had a hard week. I need to relax. I will plan a movie night with friends. I'm looking for some entertainment with dance and music and good food.
At present, Dave is involved in mundane activities, utilizing his senses, mind and intellect in sinful activities called vikarma. The reference phrase is 4.18.
Hey Dave, I want to invite you to Kirtan this Friday.
What is Kirtan?
Kirtan is singing, dancing, and after Kirtan we'll eat nice food that we call prasadam.
No, Krishna Dasi. I have my own plans.
Prabhu, we are not able to. Okay, now we can see. Please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji. So I have it in my WhatsApp. So I think that's why my video turns off.
Oh, okay.
We are doing the same thing. You are going to.
That is my part.
Yes, Mataji.
We are doing the same thing. You're going to have dance, music, food, and also blessings from Krishna.
I know you are my good friend, Krishnadasi, and I can't say no to you. So just for this time, I will come. I also love Indian foods.
So Dev comes to the Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Dave accepted
Krishna,
that. Go
Krishna,
ahead.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Dave accepted the invitation with the desire to enjoy food, dance, and singing, still engaging his senses in pious activities per scripture, which is going to sadhu sangha. This stage is called karma kanda.
Hey Krishnadasi, I really enjoyed our last Friday night in Kirtan food, and also the class after the Kirtan was great. I like the association of your devotee friends. Can I join next Friday as well?
Oh, sure. You can join us next Friday. It will be awesome.
Can I bring something for everyone?
Yes, of course. You can bring some food. So to Krishna, and we can take it as prasadam.
That's what I'm trying. As time passed, after a few months, Dave continued coming to Kirtan.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishnadasi, I have started enjoying your devotees association and I like to join more frequently. Can I come regularly to your temple gathering? Also, can I help cook for preparing bhoga? I also want to learn Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, yes. We will love to have your association.
Our Dave has not now started to engage his senses, mind, and intelligence in prescribed duties per Shastra. He is starting to perform yagyas, which is purifying him, and he's getting more detached from material entanglement and progressing in bhakti. Dev is now in stage of karma mishrit bhakti.
Hey Krishnadasi, I have been realizing that being involved in Krishna consciousness and serving Krishna and devotees have given me more peace, happiness, content, and is detaching me more and more from material desires. It has helped me engage my senses, mind, and intellect in Krishna conscious activities in the association of devotees. I know everything belongs to Krishna, and I am not here for material enjoyment, but my ultimate purpose is to perform loving devotional service unto Krishna under the guidance of Shastra Sadhu Guru. I am getting more serious in my spiritual life, and I am thinking of getting initiation from a guru. Can you help me?
This is our last scene. And the narrator is saying Dev is setting an example by practicing Mishrit Bhakti for Krishna on regular basis and engaging in sacrifices, which is helping him to advance to the next level of bhakti, which is Nishkam Bhakti or Nishkam Karma. Here he has realization that he is not the body but the soul. He is not here for material enjoyment, but is here to serve Krishna by gaining transcendental knowledge through a bona fide spiritual master as he decides to get initiated in Krishna consciousness. Our reference verses are 418 and 434. Dev has understood the potency of modifying karma for spiritual advancement. This is consistent with Krishna's instruction for Arjun that he should not stop working, but keep working for Krishna. At this point, I would like to say thank you to all our group members who were not in active conversation, but were part of the skit. Thank you. Haribol.
Very good. Very good. Very well
Hare
done.
Krishna.
So thank you. All four skits were excellent. I will I will repeat the points that were made for the sake of consistency, and then open up for any question answers. So the first skit was about renunciation, and this is a topic that Krishna speaks about right away at the beginning of the 3rd chapter, when he talks about real and false renunciation. So the underlying point that Krishna makes is that of adhikar. And adhikar is your eligibility. Krishna is not against renunciation. He's against false renunciation. So one must always act according to one's adhikar or eligibility. Because of this adhikar, there are so many different parts of the Vedas. Right? So sometimes people will challenge you that why does the Vedas speak about so many things? They speak about animal sacrifice, they speak about fruitive activities, they speak about Brahman meditation. The answer is one word, adhikar. That depending on the eligibility of the person, the Vedas offer a commensurate path. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the course of 700 verses, Krishna gives 3 different paths. Not to confuse us, but to make sure that we are able to take the path that is commensurate to our eligibility. The 4 types of karma is something that is developed in the 4th chapter, and as was presented in the skit, there is vikarma, which is activities that are contrary to what the scriptural injunctions are. There is karma that are compliant to the injunctions. There is nishkam karma, which is activities that are performed without attachment to either the fruits or the activity themselves. And then there is karma yoga, which are activities that are performed for the pleasure of Krishna. And the purpose of Bhagavad Gita is to basically take us from vikarma to karma yoga. And Krishna does that gradually. He does not hide anything from us. He does not say that just do bhakti. But he gives us all the options, talks about the pro-cons of it, and then allows us to make the choice that is best for us. In terms of destiny and endeavor, again, this is a very prevalent meditation of devotees and non-devotees, that what is happening to me, if it is my destiny, then what's the point in me making any endeavors? Now, there are a couple of understandings here. One is that if you are able to accept this view, that whatever is happening to us is because of our destiny, and destiny is shaped by our previous activities, then we only hold ourselves responsible for everything that is happening to us. So if we have bitterness or feeling of being unjustly treated, this philosophical understanding remediates that. If something good is happening, we understand that we perform pious activities. Something bad is happening, we understand that we must have performed impious activities. But in both cases, we were responsible for it. Then where is the role of endeavor? Endeavor is shaping our future destiny. So every activity that we are doing is creating a suffering or an enjoyment for us in the future, as is determined by the law of karma. Right? And from chapter 4, verse 11, Krishna speaks about the law of karma, how our endeavor is shaping our destiny. So when we have both these realizations concomitantly, that whatever is happening to us is because of us, and whatever will happen to us is because of us, then we will take our activities with much more gravity, because we are already getting a taste of it. So we know that we are shaping our own future. So this is what will motivate one to act according to the scriptural injunctions. Changing one's karma is it's a little bit beyond the scope of third and fourth. It was not really fair to the team. They did an excellent task at it. How does one change one's karma? So the third point is feeding into it, that one changes one karma by karma. That's one way of doing it. What's another way of changing one's karma? By atonement. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 5th canto, Sukadeva Goswami, he describes so many kind of hellish planets where people suffer. And the Parikshit Maharaj, out of concern, he says that so much suffering, how can one change one's destiny? How can one change what is in store because of one's prior karma? And Sukadeva Goswami says simple, atonement. So that is why the scriptures recommend so many forms of atonement. Fasting, giving in charity, taking on austerities recommended in the scriptures. These are different kinds of austerity. So austerity is kind of, I committed a crime, I still have not been prosecuted for it, but then I say that voluntarily, that I've committed this crime, I'm going to voluntarily undertake punishment for it. So I undertake the punishment at my terms in a proactive way. So that is atonement. Problem with atonement is that one may atone and wipe out the reactions of previous karma, but one will still have the propensity to perform vikarma. So the third way that is recommended is through the execution of devotional service. That when one performs bhakti, then all the reactions of one's past sinful or pious activities are washed away. So Sukadeva Goswami gives that as the final solution to that. So together, these 4 skits, they give us a panoramic view on the landscape of karma. So I'll pause over here, and I see we have a couple of devotees with questions. Gayatri Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So I want to ask, if there are 4 types of karma and 2 of them are essentially the same, as you said, Nishkam and Akarma are the same, why do we divide it into 4 types if there are only 3? Like, per my understanding, Akarma, it's something which does not create the next life, but Nishkam karma still gives some result as knowledge and purification.
So the 4th kind of karma is karma yoga. So Nishkam and Akarma is used synonymously. They are basically activities that are performed with detachment, and actions that are performed with detachment do not have reactions to them. So they are in the same category. The 4th kind is karma yoga, which are activities performed for the pleasure of Krishna. So this is the cake that has been baked to be offered to Krishna. That comes in the category of Karma Yoga.
All right. Okay, thank you.
Chaitanya Raj, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So I always get confused. My understanding is whether it is vikarma, like negative reactions that you or negative karma that you do, you still have to undergo the repercussions of it. But when we say by following austerities, we are doing atonement. I still find it difficult to understand how will that nullify the negative reactions that are there, because whatever the austerities you do, you get some pious credits which you have to consume or which you have to undergo, and whatever the negative reactions you have done, you still have to undergo the reactions for it. Like positive and negative don't get nullified. That's my understanding, but I could be wrong.
You're right, Prabhu. The only qualification I would say is pious activities will not negate the negative reaction from prior karma. However, performing prescribed atonements. So, just like karma is prescribed, atonement is also prescribed. There are prescribed activities that are given that, when performed, will negate the result of previous impious activities. We see that in scriptures at many places where there's a couple that is without a child, and then they go and then somebody advises them that you go and you perform 1 year of this austerity, and then they're blessed with a child. Or somebody is in poverty and they're recommended to do certain austerity. So whimsical austerity will not have any effect. The understanding is that it should be something that is prescribed in the scriptures.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Ranjita Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So we know that Krishna gave Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. We all, as a practicing sadhakas, we all know that Bhakti Yoga is the best. But some outsider who just read Bhagavad Gita, he will say, oh, Krishna, it's Krishna only, it's your Krishna only. I mean, Krishna only gave us the 3 routes. So how does it matter if we follow Bhakti? I mean, if we follow like Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga? So how to answer them, Prabhuji, or there are so many readers of Bhagavad Gita. They read, but they just read. They don't I mean, study. They read Bhagavad Gita. Those people often, it comes as an argument like, how does it matter? Like, it's okay, it's Krishna only gave, whether you follow Karma Yoga or it's 3 options. So for them, how to convince them and how to give the answer, Prabhuji? That's my question.
So a lot of people who say that Krishna gave Karma Yoga, they misunderstand Karma Yoga. So typically when persons say that Bhagavad Gita says Karma Yoga, what they say is that just do whatever you're doing. Right? So somebody who is a grahastha will say, well, I'm taking care of my family, that's my duty, Karma Yoga. Or somebody who is a student is saying, well, I'm studying Jnana Yoga. Right? So yoga means linking to Krishna. And one cannot perform Karma Yoga without having Krishna at the center, or Jnana Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga. It's true that Krishna has given the paths. He's given the paths so that one can take it according to their own propensity. For instance, grasthas like us, we are invested in karma. We have to take, we are, if, so when I started going to the temple, if somebody would have taken me aside and said, Prabhu, to do devotion to Krishna, you have to leave your family and leave your job and go somewhere and chant 24 hours a day, I would not have gone back to the temple the next day.
True.
Right? But what did person say? People say that it's very good, you have a family. Take care of your family, make your family Krishna conscious. You have a job, do well in your job, and give some charity to the temple. So essentially meeting me where I am. Right? That is the mastery of Krishna. Krishna is there and we are down here, but Krishna comes down and meets us where we are. Right? So if somebody wants to practice Jnana Yoga, fine. But with the understanding that they should follow it as has been explained by Bhagavad Gita. Right? Follow Bhagavad Gita as it is, not as you want it. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Ramachandra Priya, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, as we saw in the third skit, that the last one, that was the cake was made on the desire of Lord Krishna. So I wanted to know, was that really Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga? I wanted to know the subtle differences between this Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, because when we perform certain activities on Krishna's desire, like it was in the dream that Krishna came to that Mataji and asked to make a cake. So was that really technically Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga? I wanted to know that, Prabhu.
Subtle difference, we'll talk about it more in the 12th chapter there. But it's just what is the predominant? In case of Karma Yoga, the karma aspect is predominant. So you perform an activity because you're attached to performing the activity, but you offer the results to Krishna. Bhakti Yoga is you perform the activities only for the pleasure of Krishna and his devotees. Right? That's the high level difference. So you are right. In this case, the devotee was obviously very advanced because Krishna was coming in her dreams and talking to her. So it's more of Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga than Karma Yoga. But the point is that acting according to the desires of Krishna, that introduces the notion of yoga.
Thank you.
Okay. Anantacharya?
So Prabhu, you talked about Adhikar, and my question is from the second skit where the Paramatma judged the cake of Akarmi who made, where Paramatma said, I don't have the qualification to judge the cake, so I introduced Krishna to the scene. So introducing Krishna to the scene was good, but the point about qualification of Paramatma was not very convincing, Prabhu. Is that a right understanding? Because Paramatma is a feature of Krishna, is non-different from Krishna, right? How do we see this?
So I think they're allowed to take a little bit of artistic liberties when they're putting up plays. Technically, your point is correct, Prabhu. But my sense is that they wanted to introduce Krishna in the personal form. So, so perhaps the Paramatma saying I'm not qualified was not technically right, but the intention was that Krishna in the personal form needed to be presented. I'm speaking on their behalf, but
no, Prabhuji, you're correct, Prabhuji. That's exactly the point. Gayatri Mataji, you'd like to say something on that?
I actually heard that if the person is devotee, then Paramatma does not decide, but Krishna personally decides how to either discipline or reward the person. I actually heard it from a ISKCON teacher. I heard this point. That's why, Ananta Acharya Prabhu, he was given a good question, because that's what, when I wrote it, that's what I meant, because that's what I heard.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you,
at
Prabhu.
the end of the day, there are these are all subtle points, right? As Bhayahari Prabhu was mentioning, right? The Paramatma feature and then Bhagavan feature, and all those different features. They're all same. They are all pointing to the Brahma, or pointing to Krishna. So it is. We have to just take it with a pinch of salt, I think.
I would say so, but it's good to see that we have very astute audiences. So next time when we put plays, then we have to be aware that the lines will be under several microscopes at the same time. Thank you, Anantacharya Prabhu. Kokila Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Nanak Pranam. Prabhu, when we were doing the skit, we had some discussions on the Vikarma. When we are going through the scriptures, it was saying the Vikarmis does not follow the scriptures and hence they do sinful activities. But there are also points where Vikarmis have intentions that they may be ignorant. Sometimes they may be ignorant because they don't follow the scriptures and by then do sinful activities. Some Vikarmis have bad intention. So they are not ignorant, but they know scriptures, but they know the scriptures, but they have bad intentions. So I want to brief on that, Prabhu, so I can get a better idea what Vikarmis are.
Thank you, Mataji. That's an excellent question. It's a question that gets answered actually in the 17th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. And if I understand your question correctly, there's one person who is who does not have knowledge of the scriptures, but is doing activities that are prescribed in the scriptures, right? So there is a person who's very rich, does not know the scriptures, but is giving in charity, right? And then there is a person who does not know the scriptures and is stealing from others. So Krishna makes this point that actually Prabhupada makes this point that the nature of fire is to burn. It will burn the hand of a child, it will burn the hand of an adult. The child does not know that the fire burns, but he puts his hand will get burnt. So ignorance is not a shield. If a person is doing knowingly or unknowingly activities that are against the scriptural injunctions, they come in the category of vikarma. Now we can apply the same to karma. If a person is unknowingly performing activities that are prescribed in the scriptures, the person will be getting the benefits of the activity. Arjun's question was that why would person perform pious and sinful activities if they do not understand, if they do not know the scriptures? And Krishna says because of their intrinsic nature. And he says they could be sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic, and therefore they perform activities accordingly. But the adherence to the scriptures, knowingly or unknowingly, will yield the similar results. Those who knowingly follow the scriptures get greater benefit because the scriptures give them a roadmap also. That when you do this activity, next activity is this, next activity is this. So the purpose of the scriptures is not to engage you and keep you at a point, but to progressively take you to the next. Bharujan Prabhu has an excellent, in Surrender Unto Me, as an excellent short essay on it, how the scriptures engage one, and by giving them palatable results for pious activities, the scriptures engage them to inquire more and more. So a person may engage with the scriptures just for piety, and then the scriptures tell them that you are actually not the body, you're the soul. So then they start thinking of, maybe I can go to the heavenly planets. And then the scriptures tell them, well, even the heavenly planets, you will die eventually. And then they ask that, where will I not die? And they go to the Brahman. And then the scripture said, then you can go to the Brahman, but not much fun over there. So where else? So this way, it elevates the progressive. Thank you. Very nice question. Okay. So last question for the day. I have Shakti Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So this is just follow up with Kokila Mataji's question regarding ignorance. So this is what my understanding is. So when we say ignorant, it is the modes of nature that we acquired, right? It does not mean like, okay, I know the scripture, I know it's bad, but still I'm doing it. But Bhagavad Gita also says it's not me doing it. It's the nature that I acquired. I'm forced to do it. So is my understanding correct, Prabhu?
Yes, yes. So I think this verse was quoted in the skit also, the 327, Prakriti Kyamanani Gunakarmani Sarvasha Ahankar Vimudatma. So when Krishna assigns doership, it's a very delicate balance that Krishna is trying to establish, right? So at different points, Krishna will establish doership to different entities. So at one point, he is establishing it in the 3rd chapter to the modes of material nature. Now, one may question that if everything has been done by the modes of material nature, then why am I suffering? Let the modes suffer, right? And somebody else might say that all this is being orchestrated by Krishna. Chaturvanya Maya Shrestha Guna Karma Vibhagasha, right? I'm the one who did it. Krishna should suffer. Why should I suffer? So Krishna says that na tate kaschit papam na chaiva sukratam vidya, that I am not responsible for the pious or the impious activities that are done. Modes of material nature are doing. So the point that he makes is that there is no single attribution to an activity. It is to instill humility in the jiva. That if the jiva says that I am the doer, that is vimudhatma, right? He is basically being forced by the modes of material nature to do it. And all this is orchestrated by Krishna. So there is joint ownership between Krishna, the jiva, and the modes, but the one person that is ultimately responsible is the jiva. So it's kind of like you're walking down the street, there is a cop over there, you punch him in the face, and then he arrests you, right? So you can say this cop is at fault, he's arresting me, which is true. Or you can say this rule about not punching the cop in the face is what is causing me to be arrested, which is also true. But all these came into effect because you punched the cop. So it's true that the cop arrested you. It's true there is a law that says don't punch the cop in the face, but none of them would have been activated if you had not punched the cop in the face. So this whole machinery gets activated by the jiva. You get upon a plane that is going to Antarctica, you are responsible for getting onto the plane. Now you're not flying the plane, you don't have control of diverting the plane, but you are the one who got onto the plane, right? So ultimate ownership belongs to the jiva, but not exclusive ownership. Krishna makes this point that I am there also, and so is the modes of material nature.
So it's basically the desire that triggered.
It's the desire of the jiva, because the modes are inanimate, right? How can the modes do anything? They're inanimate. So you cannot punish them, you cannot reward them. There is only one thing that is animate in this whole equation. That's the jiva. So the culpability lies with the jiva, and the only thing that the jiva can do is desire. So it's the desires of the jiva.
Thank you.
Okay, good. So we'll take one last question, and then after that we'll end for the day. Shivani, Advaita Hari Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, just a short question. I'm saying just to extend what Shakti Prabhu has asked. So even Brahma who is creating this whole universe, basically, he's also having that, his impetus is also basically his desire, and Prakriti is acting on him, and Krishna is also kind of connected with that particular aspect. If you take it to that level,
you're right, Prabhu. So when Brahma begins to create, what is his prayers? His prayers are that may I not become proud, may I not consider myself to be the creator, because he's aware of the dynamics that is going on. So he was inspired to create because of his prior impressions.
Desire, yeah.
Right? And Brahma's position is a little, because he's so close, as you mentioned, he's so close to Krishna. His activities come more in the category of pure devotional service, but yet he himself is aware that he's creating in the mode of passion, and the results of it could be what the results of activities in the mode of passion is: instilling pride in the person, considering the person to be the doer. So before he creates anything, he prays to Krishna that may I not think like that, may I not fall victim to the moods.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to prepare these wonderful skits. Next week, we will do a review of the 4th chapter, a little bit more systematically. We covered it topically in the through the plays. It should be, because we covered most of the topics, should be relatively quick. I do understand that karma is the topic that has the most number of questions, and it is also the most powerful topic for preaching. So I remember when we used to go out book distributing, we would give Bhagavad Gita to people and say, this is a book of karma. And we would get a lot of people who would be interested, even Westerners, because karma, as you know, is an English word also. So, and everybody knows something about karma. So we can have any further discussion. If you have any more questions, you can think about it and we can have further discussion. But the goal is to finish the 4th chapter and start off on the 5th chapter. So the 3rd, 4th, and 5th chapter kind of go hand in hand with one another. Okay, thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Ananta Koti Vaishnavan Prabhupada ki Jai Gaur.
Hari Hari Hari.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.